My dear students, in this class, let us learn about the classification of Protozoa. Every phylum is classified based on certain criteria, based on certain rules. Like that, Protozoa is classified based on the presence, type, and also absence of locomotory organs. Protozoans, although they are unicellular, they exhibit much diversity in locomotory organs. There are various types of locomotory organs that are found in different protozoans. For example, pseudopodia are found in amoeba, and euglena has got one whip-like flagellum. Paramecium is totally covered by a series of minute hair-like structures called cilia, whereas certain parasitic protozoans lack locomotory organs. Thus, the type of locomotory organs forms the basis of classification of Protozoa. Protozoa is classified on the basis of locomotory organs. The various types of locomotory organs that are found in Protozoa are pseudopodia, flagella, cilia, whereas certain protozoans are characterized by the absence of locomotory organs. Based on the type of locomotory organs, Protozoa is classified into different classes, namely Rhizopoda, Mastigophora, Ciliata, and Sporozoa. Coming to Rhizopoda, the best examples for Rhizopoda are Entamoeba and amoeba. That means Rhizopoda includes both parasite and free living protozoans. But invariably, the organisms belonging to this Rhizopoda should contain pseudopodia as locomotory organs. That means all the protozoans with the pseudopodia as locomotory organs are included under Rhizopoda. And coming to amoeba, it is shapeless. The reason for this is it is covered by plasma membrane, which is not tougher, which is somewhat flexible. And a contractile vacuole may be present or absent. For example, if you take this Entamoeba histolytica, which is an intestinal parasite that lives in isotonic medium within the human being, it doesn't contain contractile vacuole. For that matter, any protozoan that lives in isotonic medium will not have contractile vacuole. Thus, because Entamoeba histolytica is present in the intestine where isotonic medium prevails, it lacks contractile vacuole. Whereas in amoeba, especially in freshwater amoeba, the contractile vacuole is essential for the purpose of osmoregulation because freshwater protozoans face endosmosis. And rhizopodans exhibit holozoic mode of nutrition. That means they eat like animals, animal-like of nutrition. Animal-like nutrition is found in case of rhizopods. And binary fission is the common mode of reproduction in case of protozoans belonging to this rhizopoda. So let me list out. Rhizopoda includes both the parasites and free-living organisms like Entamoeba histolytica and amoeba. Pseudopodia are the fundamental locomotory organs of the animals belonging to this class. And the contractile vacuole may be present or absent. And this is the diagrammatic representation of amoeba. And this diagram is drawn by our student by name Umar, belonging to first BZC. And here you can see the various cell organelles like food vacuole, contractile vacuole, nucleus, ectoplasm, endoplasm, cell membrane, and pseudopodia, etc. Now, let us go to another class by name Mastigophora. Mastigophora should invariably contain flagella. That means the locomotory organs that are present in the organisms belonging to Mastigophora are flagella. And this Mastigophora is again divided into Zoomastigophora and Phytomastigophora depending on the presence of chlorophyll and chloroplast. If chloroplast is present, such a flagellate is included under Phytomastigophora. If the chlorophyll is absent, such a flagellate is included under Zoomastigophora. Euglena is the best example. And you know very well that Euglena is a flagellate where the locomotory organ is flagellum that arises from the basal granule. And Mastigophora includes both solitary and colonial protozoans. Euglena is a solitary Mastigophoran, whereas Volvox is a colonial Mastigophore. This is the diagrammatic representation of Euglena, and here you can see the different cell organelles like flagella, reservoir, nucleus, chloroplast, stigma. This stigma is also called eye spot. Because of the presence of stigma, Euglena has been given that name. Euglena means it is the animal that contains eye spot or stigma. And here the reserve food material is paramylum. Paramylum. Paramylum means it is partial starch. Starch is the reserve food material in case of plants, whereas glycogen is the reserve food material in case of animals. Because Euglena is a mastigophore, it acts like a connecting link between plants and animals, and the reserve food material in case of this Euglena is paramylum. Yes, coming to Ciliata. Ciliata are the protozoans that contain cilia as the locomotory organs. And ciliates are the highly advanced protozoans, and these are the fastest protozoans. Because cilia are innumerable in number, they propel the organism in a faster manner when compared to the flagellates. And why these are called advanced protozoans means, let me draw the diagram of paramecium, which is the best example of this ciliata. You know pretty well that paramecium is covered by cilia on all sides, and each cilium arises from a granule called basal granule. And because of the numerous cilia, they require some sort of coordination during movement. Whereas in case of flagellates, no such coordination is required because of less number of flagella. And whenever there are many cilia, for example, here you can see there are horizontal cilia, longitudinal cilia, anterior cilia, posterior cilia, like that. All these cilia should function in a coordinated fashion. So, in order to achieve this coordination, what will happen is all these basal granules are connected by one system called infraciliary system. And because of the infraciliary system, which is almost comparable to the coordinating systems of higher organisms, these ciliates are called the most advanced protozoans. And nuclear dimorphism is seen in these ciliates. If you take the paramecium, you can find the macronucleus, which is kidney shaped or bean shaped, and micronucleus, which is circular. And the ciliary mode of feeding is found in case of ciliates. And the transverse binary fission occurs. We know pretty well that paramecium divides in a horizontal plane, and the anterior daughter paramecia is called proter, and the posterior daughter paramecia is called opisthe. And apart from this asexual mode of reproduction, namely binary fission, they also exhibit conjugation. Conjugation is nothing but the temporary union between two paramecia for the exchange of nuclear material. The best example for ciliates are paramecium, opalina, and balantidium. And this is the diagram of paramecium. This diagram is drawn by our student by name Afreed, who is a first year BSc student. And here you can see the various cell organelles like contractile vacuole, macronucleus, micronucleus, oral groove, like that, and innumerable cilia are also seen. And coming to the last category, namely Sporozoa. Sporozoa includes group of endoparasites. Because of their endoparasitic nature, sporozoans are characterized by the absence of locomotory organs and contractile vacuole. And the schizogony is the multiple fission exhibited by these sporozoans, and the gametogony is also seen during sexual mode of reproduction. And plasmodium that belongs to Sporozoa causes malaria. So this is about the classification of protozoa.